That's all right. I guess I can start. Okay, so start us up. Are you already started? Yeah, I'd like to bring this meeting to order for the Town of Brunswick Planning Board for November 7th, 2024. If everybody please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, the agenda for this evening is as follows. This is posted on the town website and the town board. Number one, CVE North America, waiver of subdivision site plan and special use permit. Applicant seeks to subdivide 99.51 acre parcel to create two new lots of 24.96 acres and 74.55 acres and construct two community solar facilities on property located at 511 McChesney Avenue Extension. CVE North American Incorporated is the applicant. Number two, Paramount Building Group, major subdivision. Applicant proposes a major subdivision on an approximately 33 acre parcel of land, as well as construction of a new road with a cul-de-sac and a water line extension on property located at the northeast corner of Spring Avenue Extension and Creek Road. Paramount Building Group of New York is the applicant. Number three, Sullivan, waiver of subdivision. Applicant seeks to subdivide 12.47 acre parcel to create two new lots of 5.69 acres and 6.79 acres. The property located behind 10 Charles Road, Lane, Jeff Sullivan and Sidney Sullivan are the applicants. And number four, National Grid, waiver of subdivision. Applicant seeks to add 0.577 acre parcel to an existing public utility corridor. National Grid is the applicant. Our first item of business for our meeting is the review and approval of the minutes from November. Hold on a second. I have the last October 17th, 2024. Has everybody had an opportunity to read those? And are there any changes, corrections, additions? Hearing none, I will make a motion to accept the minutes as they were submitted. So we have a second. Any further discussion on the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, first on our agenda, CVE North America.
Hello, everyone. David Froelich from CVE. Nice to see you all.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, thanks. You?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent.
Do you have anything in addition to the?
Yeah, I think there's two things we got comments, which we are still working on. I will hopefully get within the next few days. Is that microphone on? I'm sorry? Oh, sorry. You want to repeat what I just said?
Please.
We got comments on the shed analysis, which we are, we will return within the next few days.
Okay.
So I believe, we need to, hoping for a neg deck on the seeker.
Okay, let me ask Wayne on that particular thing, is that your analysis complete there on the independent study of that?
No, I think we need to see the response to comments before we make any determination on seeker. Board is not declared any agency yet, or has it been that?
I think the board has,
No, there's, according to my notes, the 30 days was enough.
I think last time we missed the 3 days by 1 day, last month. So now there should be.
The board wants to act and declare the agency that can be done.
Okay.
Nothing has come back from any amount.
There's also one other thing we have to discuss, and this has to be with the professional services that we've asked for from you regarding reviewing of the visual impact.
Yep.
And I don't know, does the applicant know that there's possibly a financial responsibility here? One of the things, let me just say, the applicant, in any type of application brought before the planning board shall reimburse the town for all reasonable and necessary fees and expenses incurred by the town for professional consultants. Right? So we have to set up an escrow account for that, which is CVE North America's responsibility to do.
Yeah, under normal circumstances, the routine review, pay through fees for the application. If there's items that would require some significant effort to review, and we typically ask for an escrow, cover those expenses. So what I can do is put together an estimate of what those costs would be, submit it to the board and submit it to CDE. And we set up an escrow account through the building department.
okay,
So we do work with the control, right? So once that, no, we already started the review. Just kind of keep things moving.
right. So I'm sorry, I'm a little confused about the ability to actually issue the new declaration. So that's not possible without our responding to the comments? Again.
Well, if you come back and there's some significant impacts based on the information you gave me, then the board has to consider that, whether or not that's a negative declaration or a neg deck with conditions or positive. We don't know because we don't have all the information. Plus the stormwater hasn't been all addressed yet.
So in order to issue the new deck, what exactly, how far, what do we need from the stormwater?
Well, lead agency has to be declared first, the board has to be accurate.
Right, so I guess that's the
We
reason.
typically don't declare lead agency and then make a declaration on the impacts. We usually vet all the environmental impacts before we make any determination on
So, I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Declaration on your seeker.
But I thought the board did declare a lead agency.
No.
We
It
did not.
should-
We were a day shy.
We were day shy a month ago.
When 3 weeks ago. The last meeting.
Last meeting, we were a day shy.
Correct.
So now
Now, we have to do it in the meeting. We can't do it in between. We have to do it.
We have to do that, we have to do that now.
I understand, yeah. Okay.
That's the one process.
Yes, one second.
So,
Sorry, I misunderstood what you were suggesting. Okay. I'm with you.
okay. Now I'm going to refer to Andy on the lead agency. Are we all set to declare lead agency?
Well, certainly the coordination notice was sent out, the 30 days have now elapsed.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of any responses received by the town from the other involved agencies. You indicated the board sought to be declared lead agency. It appears no other agencies objected to that. So yes, you're in a position to declare the planning board as lead agency. If you choose, that's within your discretion.
Is there any discussion about that as far as the board is concerned?
Will we be doing a coordinated review with the zoning board? As we have?
They were one of the agencies that it was sent to, correct? Yep.
Does anybody want to make that motion for declaring lead agency?
Sure, I'll make the motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so now we are the lead agents. Officially.
Clear. Sorry for the misunderstanding.
Okay. Now, regarding the secret review, we just went through a pretty extensive explanation of why we can't,
Yes,
at this point, do that.
I'm with you.
Okay. So at this point, we're going to be waiting for the responses from the comments that you made on the visual impact
Well,
assessment.
we commented on more than just the BAA, it's the plans and the stormwater.
Okay.
Was one of those comments about the wetlands that are on the maps? I didn't see a letter from Army Corps. I didn't know how the wetlands were delineated. I don't see any map.
I'll make sure you guys have that.
I can't remember.
Sometimes it's in the SWIFT, but I didn't see it in the secret document.
I do want to discuss one thing. After our last meeting, there was an indication that possibly there could be a site visit in your office. I forget who notified the building department
Carrie?
that they were available, the owner was available on certain dates and so forth and so on. Appreciate that offer. However, we're not ready to go on site at this point. I should also make mention that we have to be very cognizant of the open meeting regulations when we assemble on the site. If we have a full quorum of our planning board committee on that site, it could be construed as a meeting and has to be public, properly noticed to the public. And then the public could show up. So that is not the intent of what we want to do when we say we want to visit the site. So in general, we do it independently with several board members, not a full quorum. We don't answer any questions regarding the process that's going on with the application or anything like that. Our purpose for going on site is just to visually see where certain things are, where the solar fields, in this case, would be located, and so forth and so on. So there cannot be any discussion or interaction And I noticed that the request that we asked for and the response was that the owner was available. This also applies to the owner.
Understood.
He can't, you know,
I think we were just trying to get.
yeah,
No,
I understand what you're doing, but we do have some situations that we have to make you aware of.
No, I appreciate that.
Yes.
That's clear.
I mean, generally speaking, you know, Warner, Wayne and I would possibly go and visit the site.
Okay.
Other people may come at a different time.
Okay.
So, when we're ready to do that, even if, you know, we may not even want to go on the site based on all the visual assessments and everything like that that you provide us. But
But if you do.
if we do, we will let you know.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
Okay.
Follow up on the wetlands, they were federal wetlands, and there was a wetland delineation map. Big book.
Sorry. Thank you.
Is it in appendix H?
What's that?
Appendix H?
Yeah. It's just a map, they didn't do a wetland delineation report.
Okay. I was just wondering whether it was confirmed with Army Corps or if it was just.
Yeah, federal. Yeah, there's an NWI map and then there's, delineation.
That is in DEC. That's just,
No,
that's
there's
just
no-
a four? Okay. How does that affect the construction? It's still at 50-foot,
Snow buffer zone.
there's no buffer zone?
Currently.
Okay.
But Army Corps needs to agree to the lines that are on the map.
Yeah, we can find out what that's not.
Because I think one of the roads crosses. one of those.
Maybe we have any other questions? Do you have any other questions?
The only other question I had was early on, the other representative mentioned that it was 16,000 panels, I believe, but there was, you could use a higher wattage, is that right?
Right.
Panel, and then it would reduce the number of panels?
Right, although the square footage would be probably comparable.
Okay, so the panels would be bigger, but there would be less of them.
Correct.
Thank you.
Oh, that also, sorry, it also depends on when the project actually gets built. So as you can imagine, there's a constant improvement in the efficiency of solar panels. So what we could buy today, it would be more efficient than what we could buy a year ago. So the panels might be the same size, we might need some fewer number, or the total DC system size might be slightly bigger with the same number.
Maureen, do you have any other questions or comments?
We'll wait till we get responses to the last comments.
Okay.
Go from there.
Andy, is there anything you wish to add at this time?
Not this one.
All right then, we'll wait for the comments and then we'll put you on the agenda for our next meeting.
Sure, so would that be a public hearing?
No, we're not even.
No.
No, so generally, the secret determination will need to be made first,
Okay,
and that will be reviewed by Wayne. Wayne will step the planning board through the parts 2 and 3 of the EAF in order to make that determination. When that's done, and certainly the board determines the application materials are complete for public hearing. Reviewing that concurrently,
Right.
then the public hearing is.
Okay.
And as we discussed, because of the area variance for the poles, coordinate with the zoning board and have this right public hearing.
That's great. Okay, any other questions?
What's the status of your application in front of zoning?
I don't know, other than I think.
I can certainly help you out on that. So they have appeared in front of the zoning board. The zoning board at this point, their jurisdiction's on the proposed poles. And there have been some discussion regarding the poles. I think there's gonna be some visuals showing the poles. And the zoning board at this point is simply on hold, waiting the secret determination and scheduling initially.
Yeah, our next meeting is on the 21st of this month. I would assume that you would be able to have the responses back to Wayne before that, so we can,
I'm confident.
okay? And we'll put you on the agenda for the 21st.
Okay.
Okay? If there's nothing else, I think we're all set.
Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Number 2 on our agenda tonight is the Paramount Building Group. Mr. Bond, how are you tonight?
Good evening, I'm doing very well, Mr. Chairman, how are you?
Good.
Good. Matt Bonaparte from Hearing, here, I have Paramount Building Group, New York. I'm just gonna steal the keys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Wendy. Good to see you. So thank you for having me. Nothing has really changed on our proposal from our last presentation to the board. So still, we're here looking for the board's recommendation for the additional number of lots on the cul-de-sac.
Okay.
See if it-
And we have, we are moving forward with that. Andy has prepared a draft of recommendation
We'll take one for you and then pass
I will, thank you.
to the town board on this.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we're going to review that now with you. And if everything moves along well, we will forward this recommendation to the town board.
That one, I don't have my scale with me. I think that was somewhere around 400, 500 feet.
So that's going to require turnaround.
Yes, yeah, so there will be, whether it's open with this layout, we looked at an alternative layout this week, of having the hammerhead possibly here, and then the driveways splitting off. Yeah, there will be emergency services turnaround for those lots. Meets fire code.
That driveway has to be wider than a regular driveway to accommodate the vehicles.
20 feet. Yeah, unless you've got the bump outs. So this is shown minimum 20 feet width. And then right now it's a hammerhead turnaround. We'll likely do what's called the alternative hammerhead turnaround, where there's a turn off the side of the driveway. you're absolutely correct. It does need to be wider than a typical driveway.
And drain, fire hydrants out there,
We are
It will be, right?
There will be, yes.
are they indicated on that?
Yep. So we've got hydrants shown, and we'll work with the town water department on final placement, the fire department final placement of them. But we've got some kind of placeholder hydrants spaced on average 400 feet apart, coming up Crick, and then here, and one here on the cul-de-sac as well.
Have these plans been forwarded at this point to the fire company?
I will double check on that.
I think we discussed that.
Yeah.
Is that Eagle Mills?
We didn't know what the last meeting, them or Mountain View
I can go check that right now even.
Yeah, I mean.
I can go check that right now.
Well, they should, submit a set of the plans to them for their review.
Right.
So whoever it is,
Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Thank you.
okay.
And are the hydrants along Spring Avenue for those lots that face Spring?
These ones, yeah, there is a hydrant, there's a hydrant right here. So almost across the street from Lemon Club there.
I'm just concerned about the distance of these homes, but it's showing a pond, which theoretically, company could draw from, but there is no pond.
This is gonna have public warning. And those distances are standard, clear regulation distances.
Yeah.
for hydrants.
Water line that goes up Spring Avenue is an existing water line, so that was put in with fire hydrant.
Right. Andy, would you like to review this resolution?
Yes, briefly. So the covering resolution is simply the procedure of the application submittal, the request of 17 lots with the new cul-de-sac road, that there's 17 lots proposed with access onto the cul-de-sac road. Applicants requested a waiver from the subdivision regulations, which limits the number of lots serviced by a cul-de-sac or dead end road to 12. The procedure in Brunswick is that you would review that proposal and make a recommendation to the town board. So this resolution simply would then approve the recommendation that's attached. If you go to the third page, this is the actual recommendation. Again, this goes through what the proposal is, what the town subdivision regulation standard is. The requested waiver is to approve a total of 17 lots on the cul-de-sac road. Based on your deliberations at the last meeting, there were no objections, there were no identified emergency access or other public health and safety concerns regarding this proposed layout. The one thing that is included in here is identifying what Don was just reviewing. So I'll read from the proposed recommendation. However, the planning board does note that 2 lots are proposed to share a common driveway that is several hundred feet in length, and that the proposed house location on these lots are in close proximity to Spring Avenue Extension, and that each lot has frontage along Spring Avenue Extension. While the applicant has stated that it seeks to have these lots access the cul-de-sac road to be made part of the neighborhood, the planning board recognizes the potential for these lots to construct driveways directly onto Spring Avenue Extension. In light of this, and given the request for a waiver allowing 17 lots to access the cul-de-sac road, the planning board's recommendation is expressly limited to the current proposed lot layout and proposed driveway location. And this was to address if there was simply a waiver of 17 lots without limitation, and those 2 homes then had driveways directly onto Spring Avenue Extension, there was the potential to seek further subdivision that would result in 2 additional lots accessing the cul-de-sac. This recommendation would be limited just to this proposed layout house location and drive location. And with that, the recommendation would be the planning board has no objection to the town board approving the waiver.
Does anybody have any questions on this? Is there any additions or modifications of this recommendation? So hearing none,
Someone would then offer the resolution to approve the recommendation.
I'll offer the resolution.
is there a second?
I'll second.
And I'll do the roll call vote. Chairman Oster,
Yay.
Member Henderson,
Yay.
Member Krieger,
Yay.
Member Peterson is absent, Member Tarbox,
Yay.
Member Stanton.
Aye.
And Member Manella. Aye. So that was adopted and we'll forward that to the town board.
Thank you very much.
You have a copy of this, right?
I do, yep, let me just give a copy, thank you.
Now,
Great.
when is the next meeting of the town board?
It's a week from this evening, so we'll forward this to the town board tomorrow.
And so then,
It'd be appropriate for the applicant to, I think, coordinate with the building department and the town board to make sure that that's advanced at the town board.
okay.
A couple things to talk about tomorrow.
Indeed.
So we have to wait for the town board approval on that. If they approve it, you could be on their agenda for our next meeting, just moving forward. Would there be anything that you would have ready to prepare, for a meeting in 2 weeks? Or do you want to extend it out?
If you wouldn't mind putting us on the agenda, we can reach out to you if we don't have anything new to share.
Okay,
Because we are progressing pretty heavily with the site plan set.
okay,
So we have that to a point of first submission to the town and to the Wayne's office. We'll get that.
okay. And we'll put you on the agenda for our 21st meeting.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Do you have any other questions for us?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you for your time tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening.
Okay. Next on our agenda is the Sullivan waiver of subdivision.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight?
Good, how are you tonight?
My name is Jacob Keesby. I work with Brian Holbritter here for this two-lot subdivision for the Otis's daughter, Mrs. Cindy Sullivan, and her husband. The proposed action is to create 2 lots out of an existing 12.5 acre lot. The lot of 5.69 acres on the westerly side, shown on this plan, will be conveyed to Sydney. A septic system and a well would be drilled, and we're proposing to build a house somewhere up on this flat area. We were here back in March of 2023 to do a boundary line adjustment in order to create enough frontage for both of these lots to be created. That was approved and has been recorded, so this is now the next step in the process.
In regard to that line adjustment, I know there's a note on the drawing. There was a little bit of concern that they couldn't, they were trying to locate the actual, when it was approved, and it was approved at our planning board meeting of April 20th.
Yep. Yeah, the stamp plan I have here is April 20th.
Now, you're requesting a waiver, just as a clarification here, the first lot line adjustment is technically a waiver. However, lot line adjustments are handled a little bit differently at times, and there is no second lot or additional lot formed by the lot line adjustment. So there's in the regulations, in the subdivision regulations, there is a thing about 7 years However, because of lot line adjustments, sometimes don't consider that technically a waiver. And now this would be the actual waiver to separate the two lots, create the two lots. So, does anybody have any questions on that? We run into this situation before with lot line adjustments versus a true waiver where a second lot is created. So I don't see any problem proceeding ahead with this and addressing it as an application for waiver or subdivision. So I assume everybody's on board with that? Okay. So, does anybody have any questions? I think it's pretty clear. If I'm not, was this the originally years ago, was that, these two lots were actually divided off and they were put back together? Or do I have a wrong application?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, I would think that there's something else.
We were just
You
in
were
here
doing one of
first.
those recently.
Yeah,
We
we did.
were here 2 months ago for the boom towers on
Ah, there we go, okay,
on
all
a
right,
separate condition that we were doing.
okay, all right. So this, disregard that. Okay, does anybody have any questions on this? Has everybody had an opportunity to look at the drawing? I don't see any issues with it. There's no proposed house is fine with its location. Does there have to be a condition of, if the lot is sold, that there be Rensselaer County Health
Yeah.
Department approval
Yes.
for septic and water?
And Matt Bond was just up here ready to contact you to go out and start the process of getting approval for that.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's no problems with proceeding ahead, we can do that. We need a,
Like a negative declaration.
Well, just the any comments from Mike?
okay? Okay. And did I hear a NADEC?
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, do I have a second on the
I'll second.
secret determination? Okay. Is there any questions on the secret determination? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now on the motion to approve the waiver, do I have anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion. Is
Okay. Do I have a second?
there any conditions for Rensselaer County?
Yeah, Rensselaer County Health Department approval for water and septic.
I'll make the motion with the waivers.
Okay.
The stipulations.
Do I have a second?
One second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're all set. Do you want these drawings back?
Might as well hold on to them if we're gonna stamp them after, we have to set a public hearing for this.
No? You're done.
And if we're all done, if you wanna keep them and have them stamped, then I'll come by and pick them up with your stamp.
Okay.
Again, you'll need the county health department approval. Once that's obtained,
Yep,
that was a condition, let the building department know, and then we'll get the maps.
yeah, so if they wanna hold on to them, then once we get that approval, I'll bring it.
Perfect.
Good. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, last on our agenda is the National Grid waiver subdivision. How are you tonight?
Good, thank you. Allison Phillips, law firm Young Summer, appearing for National Grid. We were here at the last meeting. It's a simple lot line adjustment where we're looking to combine a 0.57 acre portion of an existing residential lot with the National Grid utility corridor. The corridor bisects the parcel, and this will result in National Grid acquiring that portion of the lot that's on the west side of the corridor. The property owner would maintain everything that's on the eastern side of the corridor.
What's the status of the negative?
We have obviously become aware of the encroachment through the survey work that's been here. I know that National Grid is going through its internal processes to reach out to the property owner to discuss it. It doesn't impact the lot that we're here seeking a lot line adjustment for. I realize it is shown on the map. So if the board is agreeable, we could, document for the record, obviously, that any approval of the lot line adjustment doesn't, in any way relate to that encroachment that's shown.
So you're gonna keep it cool.
It's being dealt with internally.
Well,
I'll make that comment.
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
This, maybe the building department would be able to answer this a little bit better. If that 5.77 acres was standalone by itself, that does not qualify for a building lot in that area. Is it R40?
That area, I have to check and see the actual zoning of that area to see what that is zoned as.
Okay. Just curious whether that would be a building lot, qualifies a building lot standalone.
With, at 0.577 acres, I'm not sure what the minimum lot size is in that zoning district, but we are proposing to combine it with the utility corridor, so we won't be creating a buildable lot with a lot line adjustment.
All right, regarding the mysterious pool location here, I had spoke with Andy, and I believe he spoke with you, and there would be a suggestion to put a note on the drawing that this does not impact this waiver of subdivision.
We could absolutely add a note to the map, and that could be a condition of your approval. I can run the language by Andy before we produce the map, and that wouldn't be a problem.
Right, and the note would simply reference that planning board approval addresses a lot line adjustment only and not any other features, including the alleged encroachment. But we'll work on that language.
Okay. So does anybody have any other questions on this? Is everybody prepared to move forward then with, okay? You need a seeker determination on that?
I'll offer a negative declaration under seeker.
Second. Any further discussion on the seeker determination? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now, motion to approve the waiver of subdivision with the condition that,
Right, I would suggest to, the note be added, we'll coordinate with the applicant on that note as discussed. And also that the 0.577 acre area be merged into the existing utility corridor.
okay.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
She's got to provide maps to the town. She's got to provide the corrected maps to the town.
Yes.
So after we add the notes to the map that are required by the conditions of the approval, we can bring in maps for signature, and also Mylar will need to file with the county clerk's office.
That's correct. Yeah. And the building department will review
Yes,
the amendments to the drawings just to make sure everything is okay.
yes.
All right. We have, Don made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You're all set.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
So you won't need these drawings because you're going to change them, okay?
We'll be submitting corrected drawings to abide by the conditions for signature.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that concludes our regular agenda. Is there any new business?
I have no new business.
Okay. I have one thing under old. I was contacted by Louise Muse, and they wish to be included on the next agenda on the 21st. They have some changes to their site plan. So they will be on our agenda. And for those out in the audience, that is notoriously known as the Chick-fil-A application. So at our next meeting, they will be on our agenda. Okay, with that being said, we have approved the Sullivan waiver of subdivision, National Grid waiver of subdivision tonight, which left CBE North America on our agenda for the 21st, Paramount Building Group on the agenda for the 21st. That's tentative. And Marie's Muse. Am I missing anything else? From my previous. Is there any other old business that anybody wishes to comment on or anything? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to make a motion that we adjourn. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We are done.
I thought Bailey wanted those trees there, shaded. You bought that little piece of land from the end of those